So today's topic is the introduction to a blockchain. That is a subject in a third year blockchain architecture design with a subject code of KIT 061. So in today's session, what we will discuss is what is blockchain. Broadly, we will introduce that with the help of an example. How can we use as a centralized, decentralized and distributed consensus into it. And the third point, we will see that how we will create the digital coins. How can we use it in the digital media, and how blockchain control all these things, and what are the working of the blockchain of it. So these are the points to be discussed in the slides. We will see that the introduction with the help of an example. We will see the concept of centralized, decentralized and distributed, how the data blockchain architecture will be used and fitted into a distributed with a pro and cons of all these systems, and then after we will jump into a distributed architecture, how the digital coins are created on a internet, and then what is the problem of using a digital coin, because we are using in the in our life, in our era, what we think is the physical coin are to be beneficial, but how can we use it in because in India scenario we can't use the digital coin, because we think that we will see the physically coins of physical money will be more beneficial than the digital coin. So we will see that what is the problem of when we use a digital coin, all that problems, physical problems, we will see that. Then we will see the what is a big problem of using a digital coin, and then after that is called a double spending effect, how this blockchain has used to it. So this is a points to be discussed in this scenario. So these are all the key points of it. So we will discuss what is a blockchain. So we will see that in everywhere in our network and in the internet, that it is a decentralized computation. We will see that the term decentralized, this is the archer of this, and the information sharing platform. Second thing is information sharing platform with a multiple authoritative domain. Multiple person will be have a authority of it, with who do not trust each other. They persons, the players, we will see that they don't trust each other, will have to cooperate, coordinate and collaborate in a rational decision making process. So we are having a different player environment. We are having a doing any business, so we all have to make a profit of it. So they have to coordinate, cooperate and collaborate to make a decision to earn a profit of it. So we are using that scenario here, that is called a blockchain. So we will two things we will see here: decentralized information sharing. So that has to be authenticate in a multiple persons are involved into it, and they don't trust each other. The person giving information is not trusted by us, or my information is not trusted. So in that scenario, how can we create a trust to make a profit of it? So this is how we can make it mention. So give a example of it, then we will see that. If we want to, this is a Alice and this is a Bob example. They want to share any information. In a traditionally, what we did, it will write under a document, and then after or like or contents, and then through a multimedia, through an email, it will send to Bob, and that thing will be received by a Bob, and then after it will see that content, and then after they will respond as a email. So single way, if Alice want to update information, so it will upload in a document, and then send all the information to Bob, and then after the Bob will update that information, and then after it will share to Alice. So this is a traditional way to make out all that, the way we are sharing at that thing. But what we do is, in today's scenario, what we do is, we will create a Google Doc. So that this is an example of centralized. So into a centralized way, we are having a single authority, single server, and all are coordinated to a single server. So we are having a three architecture here. We will see that. We will see from centralized to decentralized, decentralized to a distributed architecture. We will see that one by one why we are using a blockchain distributed architecture into it. First, we will go for a centralized one. Centralized, we are having central authority, that is central authority system, that is CCS. Every node connect to a central authority system because we are having an architecture of this. So everyone is connected to a centralized one. Next we are having is every whatever is the information that is shared to individual is coordinated by this CCS. CCS. Any one person, the Google Doc is example of CCS. Problem, if that point fails, the individual node get disconnected, you have to be it's not safe to be, because this is a single point failure. With this point fails, the system will be out of function. So this is that is a centralized one. Next, we will use a decentralized. Decentralized, in this, we have a few coordinators. The example is like this. So we are first coordinator. This is also my second coordinator. This is my third coordinator. So there was a multiple points, decentralized way. So in this case, we are having a few more coordinators, not a single one. This is a few more coordinators. Cooperate with each other. The individual are connected to coordinators. If two or more multiple failures hoge, if this fails, if this fails, this fails, so it will be up because it is here in the third coordinator. So there was one or more multiple failures in the individual connected to another coordinator. So it will be sharing information and using available job in which all the available coordinator 2 or 3 fails, but the other available coordinator will be coordinating and give you the information. This is called a decentralized way. Advantage uses if multiple failures has to be there, but the disadvantage of using it, you have to update all the coordinators continuously. In the centralized, there was one single, so you have to be coordinating or maybe updating only the single point coordinator. But in our decentralized way, what you have to do is you have to make it sure that all the coordinator has to be having updated information, not only because if I am saved in this coordinator, but this is fails, so that information is also updated here. Then I will get a information from this coordinator 1, 2, and 3. If one failed, so I will get information from that second or third. So I have a multiple failure into this. So then after we will get the other coordinator in the picture history. So this is this is a disadvantage. You have to update all the coordinators into it. Then they was coming to a distributed architecture. This comes into a blockchain into picture. In the distributed architecture, what we have to do is everyone is collectively execute their job. So everyone is executing a job. So all are connected to everyone. So all single pointer. So this is coordinator 1, coordinator 2, coordinator 3, coordinator 4, coordinator 5, coordinator 6, coordinator 7. Everyone is single point. We don't have a kind of centralized because we are not having a single point coordinator. So we centralize. All the nodes are participating. All the nodes have to be there. They coordinate with each other and collaboratively deliver. Develop the application and share the information. So this information is shared between this and this. So all are having a local copy of it. So all are updating it. In the network, there was the network is between. So that network has to be coordinating to update the local copy and it is available to the network. So that network is done by the blockchain. So in this modern scenario, we are using centralized is not scalable on robots. So we are using a distributed architecture. So in this is a solution of this is blockchain is a platform which will support the type of decentralized or distributed architecture So we are making that the centralized is out of the picture. We are using a decentralized and distributed architecture when information is so shared and the person are trusted to each other. So we are having a local copies of it. Everyone edit on their local copy. So every person have a local copy. Who is participating into network have a local copy of it. Then they are updating that local copy, and then local copy is to be visually is to be available to every one person into our network. And then if we wants to update it, the person who is available in local will update it, but it is immutable, though no one will change your local copy. Other one is, if they want to change it, they have to make a copy of it, that the legal document that you have to change all this, because that document is not to be I have to delete this thing or this thing. So the one of the one of the feature of the blockchain is immutable, that the data you have written, you will not make in that this document is not belongs to me, so you will not change anything. So the one feature of the most important when we use the blockchain into our solutions or in a company, that is immutable. When you have written something, you will not deny that I have not written it. So I will say that these are the processes we can use for it. So everyone can edit the local copy of the document, and the interval take care of the ensuring that consistency is to be there. So all that ABC is written by the Alice is also available, that ABC is also available to a Bob by saying that Alice have written on this time, this thing, this, all that things. Okay. So this is a solution, that if we Alice have its own copy of document and Bob have its own copy, they will simultaneously write on their documents, and the network will take care of that document, and it is shared between them. The network have a task to ensure that the information consistency, because that information has to be delivered between Alice and Bob, and is to be maintained between our documents. So everyone will edit their local copy. They know centralized or decentralized manner. They will have a local copy manner into our architecture. The internet will be ensuring that the consistency. Okay. So this solution, this is a problem which arises, centralized also, decentralized also, but will be solved by the blockchain in the efficient manner. The internet data to solve the decentralized way. So the blockchain helps to make this kind of coordination, that is coordination between the local copies. Alice and Bob have this their own copies of document. They will update, they will write the document, edit it, read it, update the personal information of the blockchain, ensuring that the information is being synchronized between them. The information has to be synchronized, and the personal information that is present in the Alice and the Bob is to be visible to both of them. With time both they have to update the copies, and that updated copy is to be become asynchronous into a network. So this is a solution given by a blockchain, that Alice is having a local copy of its, and the Bob is having a local copy of him, and the blockchain will be used into a network, and then after a decentralized data structure with a strong consistency support, because it's saying that immutable. This is a feature of the blockchain. When you have written something, if you are written right, this is, if you are written wrong, then if you want to edit it, then you have to make a block onto it, because blockchain is a blocks of chain. You will having a one block is connected to other block is connected to other. If any person is changing into between, it will not change, because it have to traverse up to the starting and then after update it. That is not possible for the, so it is a problem of hackers also to change in any document and then after update all the version. So this is called a 51% attack into a blockchain, that you have to change. And if we are having a 10 blocks in a blockchain, and then have to change it in a 9th one, so you have to traverse to up to first and then after change it to maximum. You have to in a 10 you have to maximum change of a maximum change of 5 to 6 blocks, then after you will make an update to it. So that is very problem for our hackers to do it in a manner of it. So it is not possible. So that's why the blockchain is coming into picture and having many application of it, because we are having a immutable feature of it that no one will change. If any document have a change, so you will have a block of it, and then it will say in this document it is written like this, but it's not right. So you will make a block of it, and then after write on it that the document has to be correct of it. Okay. Next, we are having how can we create a digital coin onto our vision? We are having a physical money with us, but we want to create a Bitcoin also example of it. So then how can we create it? So coin ID, first of all, we have to create a coin ID, public and private key of it, sign the coin with a private key. If I am sending a coin, if I am initiating a coin, if I am creating a coin, so we will sign it by my private key. And I have a public key also. Anybody who have my public key will have take it and then sign if it's valid coin or not. So by using this signature with using a private key of mine Aarti's private key, create a coin and unique coin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this we will create it. So when we are creating a coin, we will sign it by the private key of it. If other will use it, they will use by a public key. Like for example, I will create a scenario into a real scenario. If a person want to buy some books from me, so they will use a digital coin to transfer with me. So there was something, because we have to purchase something in the today's scenario also, we will see that we will take a book of 250 and we will give a coin money for 250 rupees. So how can we will transfer a digital coin and that to a credit to a wallet, and then after you handed a book to me. So how can we in the digital scenario, in a digital coin scenario? So exchange some values in a digital world. Buy a book from a friend. If I want to buy a book from a friend, so how digital coin is given to a merchant, to a wallet. So some platform has to be there. So platform, some account of mine and my friend has to be there. So on that site, the friend create its own private key and the public key also. So any person, if a person want to see that, so it will create sign a document by the public key of that person. So we will see that the sign a private key of that person. This is my private key. This is the creation of it. So it will create a hash value. Hash value is that what we will see that it will sign by my private key, which is generating a coin. For example, 1. It is used to pay to the public key of the friend. For example, friend is mine is Aarti and the friend is, for example, Shikha. They are using. So they will say that Shikha's public key will say that I will have a document, they are want to buy it, and then after they will purchase it, you will transfer the digital coin to my account to that. So that is, and then creates a hash code of it. Hash code is used for the to create the history, who will created it, because this coin will circulate into that much. When we have physical money to us, and then we will say that this is generated by RBI, but we don't haven't track that person for example, ICI bank will have a note that this is currency notes are being received by RBI. Then RBI, what we will do, if we withdraw it, we will get a number of it. But there is no tracking on it. Okay, this 1, 2, 3 number note will goes to RBI to ICI, then ICI to that person. That person has purchased something. Then this shopkeeper will have debited to any PNB account, but this not tracking. But in a digital coin scenario, what will you will track the digital coin, where the coin has initiated, where the coin has created with the ID, and sign the private key with that signature. When the digital coin is created, you will sign that by using a private key. Then you will give that coin to other and purchase something. So what it will pay to that friend, that is Shikha, with having a hash code of it. Okay, and then it is signed by me, by the private key. Then if the A person also, that Shikha is also giving to other person also, so it will linked by a hash code. So this is like this. If the friend, if we are having this is a creation of digital coin creation with a unique ID by me. Then after my friend Shikha have taken this, then my friend Arvind also taken this money to them. So there is a linking of it. This is called the blocks. Blocks are linking with the using a hash that this is linked with this and this is linked with it. So all have to making that if they are I'm signing with my private key, the friend is also signing with the private key. If the Shikha is giving to Arvind, so it will sign that I am giving this digital coin which is I received from Aarti to Arvind by person. So this is a link. So we can track that initially where the coin has started and the coin has reached here with having a linking of it. That is a link list of it we are having. So now the Arvind have owned it with a previous person is Shikha, and the starting person who have started or create a digital coin is to be Aarti. Okay, so this is the coin how we started and how the person Arvind owns it. But this is a problem that when we are this is a good, we can track it also, where the digital coin is started also. We've seen all that thing. But the thing is, the problem is that is double spending attack. This attack is what is, when I say sending a person that Shikha will send to Arvind also and to Rashmi also. Both the person they are saying that. But what they are saying is, at one time, if I'm tracking it, we can don't give to a one person. One coin, only one person. But in a double spanning attack, what is the coin is digital. We are not having a physical coin. So if we are having 10 rupees note, I can give that. If a person is saying that, okay, I am having 10 rupees note, I have to purchase a 7 rupees or 6 rupees document. For example, I have to purchase 7 toffees of eclairs and 6 of Alpenliebe. So what we have to take is, at a one time, I'm not having 10 rupees, not the 13 or 14 rupees, not 20 rupees. I'm 10 rupees. At a time, I will take 7 eclairs, otherwise 6 Alpenliebe. So at a time, we will, because I am a physical copy of it, physical note of it. So I will giving to per person that give me 7 Alpenliebe, and then after I will not. So this will not happen. But in a digital coin scenario, it is a digital because we are not having a physical thing of it. The coin is digital, so it can to be passed to a multiple peoples. Multiple people, the Shikha will pass to Arvind also, Shikha will pass to Rashmi also, Shikha will pass to ABC also. So it will process. So as that person have a copy, and then what will in a real scenario, it will given to 2. That is called a double spending attack. They did double, you will spending a digital coin double that. To cut, copy, paste. You are just, because it's having a URL of a code of it, you will cut, copy or paste that. So it given to a 2 person, and this is called a double spanning attack. So, but physically we can stop it, but in a digital scenario, that problem is the biggest problem of using the digital scenario. So in that, we are having it, my document, this is my document, and this is signed by the friend That is Shikha, and this is used by Arvind also. This is used by Ravi also. So at that time there was two problems. So we will having a problem of it. So what we have to do is we have to stop it. So that technology is to be there, is to a blockchain comes to into picture. Then we will see that this. So we will see that we will create a transaction IDs of it. Transaction IDs 71. This is using a hash code of this. This is using a hash code. This is a blocks of chain we are having and we are having a transaction history tracking. That is, transactions are to be having 72 having this transaction, 71 is having this transaction, 73 is having this transaction with linking to their hash code also. That is done into a blockchain scenario. So we are creating a coins with having a transaction IDs, and that coin is created. There is a transaction 20, matlab they are used by this. These are the transactions here. So everyone that is consumed, 72 having 3 transactions, 42 having 0 transactions, coin has 68 one having the 1 transaction. So we have to validate that the digital coin has to be valid or not valid. So validity has to be that we are creating a coin has to be, that is, if it's not consumed, so value out or value in has to be equal. That is to be, so they will, if we are having a multiple coins of a multiple source, we will create only 1 transaction. So all these things we will saying that these are the validity of having a coin also. So we are having 3 different coins to buy a things worth of 3 coins of it. So all the owners who will using that coin have to sign it by the private key. So this is all the validity you have to maintain in using a digital coin here. So if we have an immutable coin, that is a concept of blockchain here. So we use it because coins have not to be subdivided also, they are not combined also. We have to just only track it by using a transaction ID and all that thing. So if we see that, if we are creating a new transaction, then consume and then pay for this, the crucial question comes into a picture. We will go to a central trusted party. So if one party will have, centralized party will have, so how can we maintain? We will go to that question also. We have to maintain a one party which will track the coins and this. So this is a centralized approach, but we are going for decentralized and distributed approach. How can we trust that person? So that the person is the trusted third party. That is a conventional problem. We are back to that problem. Become maintaining the transaction ledgers. You have to be ledgers every time. All the transaction has to be validated by the central authority. Then the blockchain has to be come to picture with our distributed consensus, and we are using a solution of blockchain here. In this, we are having 2 questions here. Are you whom you say what you are? That is the authentication culture. If I'm saying this, I'm the person, I'm using this. So if blockchain is giving the authentication of it, that is proof of identity. I am who I am. And the second question is, if I have a right to do it by using a proof of permission. These are the 2 problems which is solved by the blockchain technology here into the scenario, and we are having the authentication problem and authorization problem. The authentication problem is used by the solved by the that is called a cryptography. In this cryptography blockchain, in which you use a private key and public key scenario, that all the person have to be private and public key. This is to be saved into a blockchain wallet, and the wallet has a software which will store the public key and private key, or having a facility to sending and receiving the cryptography by using a blockchain, and monitoring also the balance of it. So wallet has having a private key and public key of it. So that is solved by my authentication problem. And also addition, there was also a digital signature what we are having, and digital signature is verifying that who I am. This is Aarti, and this is sending this code using a digital coin of this is because we are having a person having a public key also, private key, or the person is authentic. If you are using the scenario of what we are using, if you don't trust each other, I am authentic, that the person is authentic. attempting to use, which is done by the blockchain technology. So by using a digital signature here. So in the digital signature, what we have a generation of public and private keys, signing the document and verifying. That is done by a blockchain, though the person who is using the scenario, using in that technology is done by the blockchain verification part. So other thing is the blockchain is to be immutable. So the data has to be all the data has to be recorded, and that is not changed. No person will change it. If there is any changes, they have made to a other document and then verified this document is changed and you have to do. So in the digital signature scenario, that is authentication. So you can verify that trust question is, are you what you say is true? Next question is what we have a right to do it or not. That is addressed by our authorization. This is done by the distributed consensus, that is peer-to-peer, in which in a decentralized way, we have a central authority but not defining a control of it. So we are having a distributed consensus into it, in which the person having computers, phones, blockchains, all are connected to it. Then all are having a right to add it to it, or right to what to do, what is right to do it. Okay, in the local copies, not the because we are not having a centralized copy. Every local copy is handled by the person only. So that is consistency maintained by a blockchain. So there is no hierarchy in the network. So all the persons are to be having, and we are having identical copies, that is local copies to a person, and which is maintained to peer, and it is explained that because that is the technology, a feature of it is to be immutable. So every one person have a local copy, have a fully responsible of the local copy. If it's writing it to it or it's not, it will not at the future will say that I have not written this because I'm not having a right of it, because at the time on date they have recorded into a blockchain technology that the data has to be written by them also. Okay, so all these are the points which will be here. That's why the digital coins are coined to a blockchain technology. So this is a summary of that. We have briefly described the blockchain with the help of centralized, decentralized, distributed architecture, how the digital coins comes and what is the problem and cons of it, how the blockchain works into a digital scenario. This ends my PPT, and thank you.